Hi there, twins. I've had several requests from many of you about how to make a tie blanket, and so I thought I'd go ahead and put together a quick video for you so you can get some clarity. There's several supplies that you can get. These are different size rotary cutting tools that you can purchase, or you can just use typical shears. I like the sparkle because we're all about magic. Thank you, Kimberly Cruz, for these. She got that for us. Super fun. With the rotary tool, you're going to want a mat and then a straight edge. There's a variety of these available. You can get a bigger mat than this if you want. This is one of the smaller ones. Just figure out what works best for you, your budget, whatever. If you don't want the rotary tool, then absolutely, again, you can just use your scissors. So now that you have all the tools, you have your kit. Both of the pieces of fleece will be wrapped together with a little bow on it, so you just undo that and go ahead and open up the material, and you'll find when you do, on the bigger blankets, the center of the material has this rough edge to it. And so your goal is to get that rough edge gone before you make the blanket. So what I do is I just take the material and I line up the corners so that they're lined up perfectly, and I lay it down. And then what I do is I take my rotary tool. Here I've got my cutting board, and I open up my rotary tool so that the blade is out, and I line this up perfectly just along the rough edge of the material, and then I just cut along the rough edge. When I hit the edge of my mat, I just slide the mat forward, take it along the edge again. Again, you're just right where the rough edge is. You need this straight edge to guide you, so it's super important that you have that. If you don't have that, then you can get crazy with the cheese whiz on the wheelie do. We don't want that, right? Okay, and then once it is completely cut, let's make that. Okay, so you can see how you do that along the whole front edge. So then once that's done, you take you want to do that to both your materials. Once that's done, then you look at the material and figure out which side is the fuzzy side. It's pretty clear when you're putting them together. You might not be able to tell in the video, but when you have the material in front of you, you'll be able to know. You want to put the flat sides together, and then you're just going to line up the material as best you can. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect, and that's the coolest thing about the tie blankets, is that it doesn't have to be perfect. So you're just trying to get your edges as close as you can to being lined up. And then once you're happy with how they're lined up, we're very fortunate because in this particular case, the lines are actually drawn on this blanket. That is not always the case. And so you can take you can take your flat edge that you have that's got the inches on it, but what I do, Lisa thinks I'm crazy, but I don't use that very much. I basically just use this bottom mat, and I count however big I want for the corner. So in this case, they went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches, which is typically about how long I go. And then you just cut along that edge. You take the corner off, like that. Now your corner's gone. And then, now you're going to cut about, if you'll see how this one's pre-measured, it's about every inch. Well, if it's not pre-measured, you can just use your mat, because your mat gives you that exact inch. And what I typically do is go just inside that inch. But this one's got the little white dots on it, so I'll just do right along those white lines. Once you do that all the way around the blanket, then what we do is we just take these two strips and tie a knot like that. That's one type of knot that you can do. and then you just do it all the way around. Or you can do a box knot, which is you just take the two pieces like this, and then tie it again. So you can see the slip knot, it brings them together like this. It's very clean, almost looks like a man's tie. And then the box knot gives you the little doodads on either side. So it's completely up to you how you want to tie it. What's easiest for you. Some people think the box knot is easier. Some people think that the slip knot is easier. Honestly, it doesn't matter. You just do what you want. So go ahead and slip this one. You do that all the way around the blanket, tie all the way around the blanket, and you're done. It's that simple. I hope that you find this little video helpful. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to either Lisa or I. We've become, I think, tie blanket experts. To all my Twinful twins, I love you. Thanks for your help.